What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Reporter Show, man. I know we took a little hiatus because your boy had to go on and get married, you know. So I am back. We are back. And as always, I got my co-host with me, Devin on my left, Tuck on my right. I know we missed a week of sports. I ain't going to say good week because I had some disappointing things happen. But I'm going to say we missed a week of sports. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all like a speed run of the week that we missed. And then we're going to get to this week or this past week. Football was at Soul Ross. We're going to do a full coverage on them because this past weekend they had a bye week, so we'll come back to them and go full coverage on that game. In the week gone for volleyball versus OPSU, they ended up winning that match 3-2. It was rough until the fourth set. It was a different mindset. They had a 542 hitting percentage in that fourth set, and they only had one error, so they really locked in and finished up winning the last two sets, 25-10 and 25-9. So they took over after that point. Notable stats from this one was Carly. She had 15 kills, 24 digs, and added 2 blocks. Valentina had 55 assists and 20 digs, so that's crazy. Emily had 24 digs. Versus OCU, they got handled. They lost this one 3-0. I don't know why, because OCU is not really an outstanding team. I ain't gonna say they sorry. I ain't gonna say they good. They right there in the middle of the pack, which is where they have us. But I don't think we're in the middle of the pack team, so I don't see why we ended up losing this one 3-9. But we turned right around against Southwestern Christian and ended up winning that one 3-9. So I guess we bounced back from that last little mishap in the previous game. It was pretty tight back and forth in the first set, but we dominated the second set and came from behind in the third to end up winning it. And then Emily had 20 digs in this one, added 4 aces. Jordan had 40 assists. She added 9 digs and 2 aces. And Selma had 13 kills with a 281 hitting percentage. Shout out to Emily for being last week's SAC Volleyball Defender of the Week. So sorry we weren't here to cover that, but she did end up getting an award for her performances in that last week, or 2 weeks ago now. And so let me go ahead and move on to the next thing. We had in the week gone for men's soccer, they were against Dallas Christian. They ended up winning that one 6-1. It was a great offensive push. They had a steady attack. They controlled the game. It was an easy win. Stats from this one: Francis, he had 2 goals. Vito had 2. Dario had 1, and Rashawn also had 1. Same thing for, well, actually, I ain't gonna say same thing because I believe that women's soccer was against Soul Ross, and they ended up losing that one 4-0. Like I said, it's always hard to create an offense when you can't hold on to the ball for more than a couple seconds. Shots on goal, they had 10, we had none. Against McMurray, they also lost this one 2-9. First half was pretty even. Second half, McMurray became the aggressors and took the win from there. I believe that is all the matchups that we had while we were gone. So let me start back up at the top from football. 2 weeks ago, football faced off against Soul Ross, a D2 team out of where? Alpine, Texas.
Middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in
just
case you
like
want to know where it's at.
It just look a little better over there.
Okay.
The scenery.
Okay, I got you. They were at Soul Ross, and for those of y'all who keep up with football, y'all know that they ended up losing in OT 52-51. Now, the first quarter did not look good. It wasn't promising that first quarter. We were down 17-0 until the very end of the quarter. And let's go ahead and check out some of these highlights, man. Until the very end of the quarter, we finally connected here. Ended up scoring from Davian to Daquan, yeah, to making it 17-7. In second quarter, we fight down big again, 31-7. Then we put together another nice drive that finished off with a pass from Davian Quez, making it 31-14. Then Shamarion, the transfer from Kentucky, a nice one-handed interception right there, comes up big and returned it for 21 yards. And then we followed that with a big pass play downfield to Josiah that led to another score, making it 31-21.
He gonna do this thing.
Yeah. When you do the downfield, man, it's really easy. He gonna get the deep ball. And then we ended up scoring on that very next play. Red was showing out this year, man. He took this one for 33 yards to the house, man. I don't know what the cameraman was doing, but he was slacking. Give my man some screen time, man. Don't pan away from the touchdown. Come on now. But then we had this big 56 yards to tie the game. Not to tie the game, but to get us back within 2. And so then we went into the fourth quarter down 2 scores. And then we ended up with 2 drives that were 60-plus yards. Both of the drives were 60-plus yards with 10 plays on both of those drives, man. And we ended up tying the game and sending it to OT. We also had a big stop on 4th and 2 that allowed us to be able to get that ball back and have the opportunity to tie the game. So big ups to the defense, getting that stop there. And then once we tied the game, of course, we went into OT. And our downfall was in OT, we had a blocked point after attempt that ended up getting us.
I do want to add to that. What I heard was that the defense jumped over the line, which I don't think is allowed anymore.
Did they touch anybody?
That I'm not sure.
Listen, y'all.
That I'm not sure.
Right now, I don't have that video. But by the time we get this thing done, I'm going to have that video, and we're going to see. So if they jumped over them, I think it's if they jump over them with no hands, they don't make contact with the defensive line, it's cool. Now, I don't know. It might be different for college. I don't know.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, I think it's if you can get over that line without touching anybody, you good to go.
I know. My goat. I love 12 Alamalu, but the reason I love football, he was.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was on the way to JP's wedding Saturday when they was playing. I tuned in. I had it playing on the radio. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I turned y'all off at 31-7. I gave up on y'all. Yeah. So shout out to y'all. Y'all made it a game. Yeah. I went back, checked my phone. I said, oh, they made a game out of it. I hate we had to lose at the hands of something like a block, a blocked field goal, man. It's not even that he missed. Yeah. It got blocked. So just that's heartbreaking, man, for them to battle back down 31-7 at one point in the game. Yeah. It shows a lot about our character and about our mentality, but you know, you would have loved to win that one as well. But I will say, I'm sure a lot of people gave up on y'all when y'all were losing, and y'all continued to come back. So.
Yeah, they didn't give up on themselves. That's big.
Kind of like what you said, going back to that character aspect, I think it's a big change from what we've been used to seeing from the football program. So huge props to them. I think what one of the biggest parts of it might have been was maybe some of the newer guys, we're playing a D2. And they got to their head a little bit. They laid back. But once we shook back and stood on business, they went out there and did their thing. Like coming back from being down 31-7, I think that's huge, like I said, especially against a D2 team. I think it shows what this team is truly capable of, what we've known them to be capable of. Huge props to, the offense for fighting back and the defense for standing their ground and not letting up. So
I mean,
I'm looking forward to what we got. What we got coming. You can't point
the finger at the offense, man. 51 points should win you 9 out of 10 ball games. Sure. I'm not gonna point the finger at the defense because they gave up 52, but evidently, I mean, the team had 31 points before halftime and they started getting stops. They slowed them down.
But this is the thing, though. We have I'm gonna say it. We have a great-looking offense.
Great.
We have an offensive game that can move the ball down the field. It's just about capitalizing, in which in this game we did. We have to. The thing is, we have to lock down on our pass defense. We gave up 343 yards in the air.
So
that's our problem.
I think it's been the problem all year.
That's the problem right now. We can score the ball. That ain't no problem no more. We gonna run it up. But defensively, we have got to lock down on the pass defense. I feel like, I don't know if it's that because I wasn't able to watch a lot of the game. Like I said, we were both gone. All of us was gone.
We was dancing. We was on the dance floor.
But the problem is, man, it's just like, from my understanding, it's either we give the QB too much time, or we just blow coverage. Yeah. It's just blown coverage. Guys running downfield. Yeah, not making plays. I don't know what it is. But we're going to see it this weekend because it's the first home game this weekend. Yeah. But we're going to see what it really is, and I hope that I don't even get to see it. I hope that it's locked down, and I don't understand why we lost the previous games, and I hope that y'all blow these boys out. That's what I'm hoping for, because we got guys, man.
I want to see this
we have
same
a team.
Offensive intensity. Everybody offensively has been doing their job. Davian been doing his thing. Top, Quez, Quan, Red, Doug, all of them, they out there doing their thing, man. Handling business every single time they step on the field. Yeah. But it's like you said, that pass defense has to come through for us if we want to win ball games.
This might sound wild to say, but I feel like the team that we have right now, even though in the past, I don't know how many years we've only won 1 or 2 games, I really feel like this team could at least go 500.
Oh, yeah.
At least. And I would want y'all to go more, but you got to win the games that you got to win. I think this team has the opportunity to make a little bit of different noise this year than what we've seen in the past couple of years, especially from these first couple of games that I've seen with that offense that we have. We just have got to lock down on defense.
Last thing I'm going to say about it is I done seen a lot of games last year start off bad and then just
Continue to
just snowball into something horrible. We were getting beat last year like 61-14, those type of games. So
those are some of those games where they laid down.
Exactly.
They got hit in the mouth and they never got back up.
Yeah.
But,
so I mean, granted, still a loss in the column, but a year later, the same thing could have happened. We turned it around and took it to OT, didn't come out on top. But that, to me, shows growth in the program that the wins and losses won't tell you.
Yeah.
So I feel like right now we're taking a step. We've been the laughingstock of the SAC in the past, I mean, I don't know how many years since I've been here, so at least 2 to 3. But I think we're taking that step where people are like, all right, like, you can't just come into Wayland thinking you're about to just beat them easily. Like
it ain't no cakewalk.
Taking it serious now a little bit.
It's definitely not a cakewalk. Some notable players from this one was Davian. He was 17 for 31 with 220 yards and 3 TDs. Red had 14 attempts, 105 yards rushing and 2 TDs as well. And Josiah had 7 receptions, 120 yards as well. We're gonna go ahead and take this one on to the next game, man. Football. It's hard for me to say I'm proud in the loss, but I just keep going. You know,
I like what
I like what I'm seeing from the offense. If the defense can step their game up, we're really gonna be a problem out here. All right.
Sure.
So let's take this one on to volleyball. This week we faced off against honestly some really tough teams. Nelson, I believe, was undefeated in conference, and Texas Wesleyan as well was also undefeated in conference.
Nelson was formerly SAGU, right?
Yes,
okay.
my fault.
Right.
Nelson is formerly SAGU. So for those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, that's SAGU. Both of these teams were undefeated in conference. What I will say, a big thing that stood out to me before this match was we did not have Valentina. Now, that is a big part of our offense. For those of y'all that don't understand, having a good setter is a huge thing in volleyball, because when you have a good setter, you don't have to worry about timing with your hitters. You don't have to worry about the ball being set too high, or maybe it's being set too far away from your hitter, or maybe it's being set too low. Like, you don't have to worry about those miscommunications. But when you have another setter in, then you have to get used to, okay, this setter's got to get used to our hitters.
It might be a chemistry thing,
yes,
too.
it's definitely a chemistry thing. So when you don't have a setter, I take that back. Not when you don't have a setter. When you don't have your setter, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So going into this game, I was like, all right, no Valentina, let's see what happens. We ended up getting swept. We lost that first set 25-14, lost the second set 28-26, and we lost that third set 25-17. Nelson, honestly, they just had some towers that had some big swings, and their setter was doing her job very well. And they had 3 players in double digits for kills. 3 players in double digits for kills. I think one had 12, one had 10, and another had 10 as well. So they was getting active, and their setter was not playing around. She was dropping dimes, and they was coming down really hard, man. And something I noticed is that they play a very quick game. Like, after they would get a point, boom, they was coming back and setting it and serving the ball up ready to go. And I was like, I wonder if that's like their style of play to wear down the other team a lot quicker. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'd never seen it like that before, where they were scoring a point and they was ready to go immediately. So I don't know if that had something to do with this loss, but that was something that I did notice. We didn't lay down after that first set, though. The first set was a little rough, 25-14, but we matched them in kills in the second set and got to set point, but we did not finish that one, and we ended up losing the second set as well. And then, of course, after that, Nelson closed out the third set in domination. Nobody had standout stats in this one other than Fade, who had a .438 hitting percentage, but, of course, she only had 8 kills. They didn't get a lot of things going in that one. So Nelson dominated and took away.
Looking at the stat column, I mean, they almost doubled our kills, double our assists, almost double our aces. I mean, and obviously doubled our points. So it's just like they just dominated from start to finish. It seems like the second set we put up a little bit of a fight, had a chance to win the set actually, and didn't. But I don't know. We just never got it going. Coach Yakamazi wasn't there. I don't know how much of an effect that was. Or, you know what I'm saying? But it's always different when you're used to having a head coach there and he's not. So that could have been one of the things. But maybe their play style and approach, Nelson's, could have changed it, because I know after a volleyball point, a lot of times they huddle up and talk for a split second before the next ball is served. But it sounds like they just went ahead and served it. So we didn't have have time to dwell on the mistake we just made or to even talk about it and recover. So maybe that could have been a difference in the game too. But yeah, just from looking at the stats, they were obviously that night they were the better team.
Yeah, definitely. And so taking it from there, I was like, okay, we got Tex West now. They're also undefeated in conference. Let's just show a little fight here, man. We can't go down 3-0. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that. In that first set, we came out ready to go. We won that first set 25-20. In the second set, we ended up losing that one 25-15, looking like the first set from the matchup against Nelson. We had a slow start. They went on an 8-point run, and they were up 12-3 early on us. They ended up, of course, winning that one 25-15, like I said. In set 3, we won this one 31-29.
That was a battle.
So that was a battle.
Yeah, those are fun to watch.
It really is. And we were up 8-3 early.
Edge of your seat too, like, bro, come on, like.
Absolutely. We were up 8-3 on them. And then, of course, they went on a run, tying it back up. And let's end up watching the end of this one, man. I think it was, yeah, it really was. It was 28-28. Great dig by Emily here.
Nice.
On the Pioneer side.
And then, of course, Carly sends it back over.
Right side to hide record again.
And then I believe Fade finishes it
Free ball sent
off.
over.
And she does, of course, absolutely.
Middle to open block.
And then we got the double block by Fade
And that'll be a
as
double
well.
block.
And I couldn't
Both
see
of
who
them go
was over there on the
outside
other side. And then Selma sort of just flipped it over. And then they weren't able to get it back over, and that ended that match 31-29, like I said. And then in set 4, we ended up losing that one 25-18. And then the thing about that one was it was 18-18. And then we let them go on a run to end it. And so then we went into set 5, and they started out set 5 pretty strong as well. They were up 8-4 at one point. And it's first to 8, then they switched sides. And so, you know, it was 8-4, and I was like, that don't look good because in the 5th set, you know, you only go into 15.
Yeah.
You ain't got a lot of messing around to do.
Not much
So
room for error.
exactly.
At all.
So it was 8-4, and then they got it to 13-11, and it was Tex West ahead, and then Fade and Alyssa decided to take over. Let's watch the end of this one as well.
Blocked by the Rams. That's going to be a kill for Pioneer.
So of course, Fade comes over the top.
Right side
Some
blocked
miscommunication on
by
that
the
back row. She came
Pioneers.
up a little early.
It's all tied
Then we
up.
had a double block by
Free ball
Fade
sent
and
over to
Alyssa over
Pioneers.
there on the left side. And then we came back here, and I think this
And
was a
a
kill by
kill from
Fade. Don't give
Ogabada.
us no free ball, man. You're giving us a free ball. You know
Outside
we coming on
Vasquez.
top. Come on
And
now.
that will end it.
And then Alyssa
With a
finished it
kill
off
from
with a
Alyssa
kill to that
Vasquez
back
on
row.
the
They could not
outside.
handle
Pioneers
that.
win it.
Alyssa been playing
Three
good.
Yes.
sets
She's
to
been
two.
playing very good
She
lately. Like
has.
I don't know if it's one of those things where it's not showing up on the stats nowhere near as much as it's you have to see it to
You have
believe
to
it.
see it to know what's
Like
going on.
hustle plays, effort, energy. She's doing it all. Like I want to give her props because she's out there doing her thing.
Absolutely. The biggest thing that I noticed about this, it was a hard-fought match. But what really made it harder on us was letting them go on runs. It made it very difficult for us because once they got going, it's like we couldn't slow them down. And we were consistently fighting out of a corner. So it's just like, I don't know what you have to do. I mean, your coach can only do so much. She can call a timeout. She can get y'all going. But y'all have to understand when y'all let these teams go on runs, you're digging yourself in a hole consistently. I don't know what the mindset change is for you when you know a team has scored 3, 4, 5 straight points, like what you have to tell yourself. I know that you can't really like have a team timeout like in the middle of the set because they just gonna keep going. And so I don't really know, but what I will say is we had a great defensive showing. We had some really good blocks, some really good digs that was big for us. But the crazy thing is we didn't beat them in any of the statistics other than aces. We got beat in every statistic, every single one, and we ended up winning this match. So when we lost, it was evident in the stats. We lost bad, but we fought hard in the sets that we did win, and we came out on top. So
It sounds like it was kind of one of those, I'm not going to call it ugly, but more like a grinded out type
Yeah,
game
who
on
wanted
our
more?
part.
Definitely.
Who wanted more?
Yeah, one of those who wants it more, and it's good, especially at home. You got the crowd behind you. It's always good to win those because evidently we had our backs against the wall 2, 3 times, and then we decided to, well, okay, let's turn it on. Let's go get 3, 4, 5 points in a row, and that's what we did. Which I love to see, obviously the fight, but you want to be on the other side of that. You want to be on the how about we have them pinned
More
against the
pressure,
wall?
yeah.
Let's be the ones applying the pressure, not
Be
the
the
ones under the
aggressors,
pressure.
yeah.
Yeah. But either way, for you to win a game with losing almost every stat, man, that tells a lot about the fight you have on your team.
It's a lot of fight, man. The team, like you said, like Devin was talking about earlier, man, that was a match where everybody was really on their seat. You know, everybody was like, I mean, because let's be real. Yes, it's cool to see your team thump everybody, but the tight matches are the more fun ones to watch.
Oh yeah, way
you know?
more fun.
I mean, if you was in that gym, the people that was in there, everybody was jumping up and down every single point. Every single time somebody got a kill, all you hear is, boo, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole gym. So, but like, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see some stat leaders from this one. Fade, of course, she led kills with 14. She added 4 blocks and 2 aces. Jordan led assists with 30, and Emily led digs with 24, and she added 7 assists to that. So volleyball, rough match that they came out on top, so that was really good for them. I believe that they are 5-2. Can you check that for me in conference?
Let me go back real quick. I believe they are.
I think they're 5-2 in conference. And which, if they're
5-2.
if they're 5-2 in conference, we're better than where they expected us to be, which is what I love to see.
That's what you want to see.
That's what I want to
Gotta prove 'em
see,
wrong.
because they had us in the middle of the pack, and right now we are not in the middle of the pack. We're in that top quadrant. We got Nelson, of course, Sagu, who's undefeated still. Oklahoma City, who gave us that early on loss, 3 sets to none. Then we have Texas Wesleyan, who we just beat, ahead of us, but they, of course, only have 1 loss.
Yeah.
So, and we have 2. So we're sitting in 4th out of, I think there's 12 teams. Yeah. 4th out of, so we're in the top quadrant.
Yeah.
I like being in the top quadrant. Let's stay in the top quadrant. And a lot of these statistics as well, I believe that we lead in the team statistics. But let me not dwell too much on that. I know we still got soccer going on. So let's go ahead and go to men's soccer. Men's soccer had a matchup against Arlington Baptist. As we talked about before, they ended up winning 6-1 at Dallas Christian 2 weeks ago. This past weekend, they ended up winning 4-0 against Arlington Baptist. And Jamal had 3 of those goals, and Francis had 1. Defensively, we've always been there. We had 2 games back-to-back where we gave up 3 goals. It wasn't our best showing, but we somewhat matched the attack, but we weren't scoring. Now we've added that scoring to it, and it makes a huge difference.
Which I want to say
in the game.
I want to say is Jamal, but it shouldn't be.
But it is.
But it is.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
It's great to have him back. I love seeing him play. I love the energy that he brings to the team. You can tell the team has a lot more confidence with him in the game, leading that offensive charge. And so, like, I mean, I'm more than glad that he's back, but I just wish we would have had that same intensity beforehand. But I mean, he is back, and we gonna appreciate the blessing of getting to watch him play. And watch him do his thing.
I mean, his first game, I'm going to let you go. Well, I won't say his first game back, because he did play in that game against Dallas Christian, but he came in, he didn't start.
Yeah.
So, but this game he started. So his first game starting back, he come out with a hat trick. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's,
He's like that.
let's be real, let's be real.
Let's call it what it is. Whenever he was playing before the injury, we were scoring a lot of points, beating a lot of teams. He gets hurt, we don't score a lot of points, lose to a lot of teams. He comes back, and what do you know? We score a lot of points, beat some teams. Granted, if Arlington Baptist and Dallas Christian are anything like I think they are, they're sorry.
Weaker.
Yeah, they suck.
They're not
they're
those
not good.
teams.
So,
they did what they should have
They did what they should have did, and that's a good game for him to come back, because now he gets some confidence back going. Like, okay, I'm still him. I can still score goals. So that's good. But you know, I'm curious to see what we have. I would assume we would have beat him without him.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm just
What
glad
it would have been if he
yeah,
wasn't
I'm
there.
curious to see, like, maybe we might have been a little hesitant. But I'm glad that those are 2 good games for him to come back and see the ball go in the net.
Absolutely.
So,
I, like you said, these are weaker opponents that they ended up facing off against. This week, they got Sol Ross, D2 team, that's 4-1 right now throughout the season. And then, of course, they have MacU, number 13 team in the NAIA. At MacU, who are 5-1-2. Now, that might not sound like a dominating record, but they have a really strong schedule. They've already played 3 top 10 teams this year, and other teams that they've played are receiving votes. So they have a really strong schedule, and they still got a pretty good record.
to show for
So you ain't gonna be able to go into these games playing around like y'all been playing around.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna be able to work.
It's gotta be there on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively. Jamal, you know what I'm saying, go out there, do your thing, lead the charge.
Yeah.
But everybody else has to play their role
Yeah.
and step up when the numbers call.
I agree, and I'm gonna give Louis some shine. We haven't been scoring a lot of points, but he's been holding it down for the most part,
Yeah.
even with the absence of Jamal.
Sure.
He's been, he's got a ton of saves in the past couple weeks.
Louis and what's that? Is it Neary?
Maybe so. I don't know how to say it. I
They
don't know how to say it.
switch every game. I've noticed that. I don't know if they consistently do that, but the games that I've watched, the away games, Louis starts, and the home games, they start the other guy. I hate to call you the other guy, man. I'm really sorry, but let me keep going. Keep going while I find his name.
No,
man.
yeah, I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, I mean, you know, they blew out two teams that aren't very good, but
Ouch.
I'd rather come into a big week after a win than after a loss, because you don't want to go in to play Sol Ross and Mac U after you just got your teeth kicked in. So, you know, we got it rolling right now. That's all you can say. So, I definitely expect us to come back 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's go into women's soccer because we got to get this one going. But the other guy was Alex. Alex, I'm gonna remember your name now. Yeah, exactly. So let's go to women's soccer. They had a matchup against UT Permian Basin. They ended up losing that one, 6-2. They got off on us quick, scoring within the first 5 minutes of the game. From there, I was hoping that it wouldn't be the same old game, but it was the same old game. They had 14 shots on goal and we had 6. Offensively, we did become more active, I will say.
6 is more than we have
than usual
in the
because
past.
that was the most shots on goal we've had since our first and only win against Jarvis, which we had 7 shots on goal. Now, let me take y'all to the comparisons this year on shots on goal.
Oof.
First game that we won, 7-10. We only had 7, they had 10 shots on goal. So we still had less shots on goal. Second game, 3-14. Other game, 2-10. Next game, 0-10. Next game, 3-8. And the last game, 6-14. So we have not had one game in the entire year where we have led in shots on goal.
Or even had double digits.
Exactly.
in shots on goal.
Yeah, we
Like,
didn't sniff double digits yet.
You gotta put more shots on. You gotta shoot.
I mean,
Gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, the way we're playing, it's like we think we're gonna just make every single shot that we take. So we not taking that many shots on
Yeah.
goal. Like, well, you obviously aren't making too many of them. So maybe you should put more up.
Yeah.
That's the only solution to the problem.
Exactly.
You got to. And the problem is, though, we can't hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
We can't hold on to the ball for more than a couple seconds. So if you can't hold on to the ball, you probably ain't gonna have no offensive game.
For sure.
You probably ain't gonna have no offensive game. But I'm gonna move on from that, man. Men's and women's golf will both be at the Innisbrook Invitational this week in Palm Harbor, Florida. So men's side, of course, has 20 teams competing, and 13 of them are in the top 25. So it's big dog fighting. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk to y'all about the teams that they were competing against next week when they come down and win the tournament.
trophy back.
Yeah, and they win the tournament.
Bring out some hardware, man. I'm trying
Exactly.
to see something nice.
On the women's side, I couldn't find too much, but of course I will have that for you guys on next show. Cross country, we're at the New Mexico Junior College Invitational, and Evans Pololet, he placed 6 out of 33 contestants in the 8K, which is almost 5 miles. So y'all running a lot. Matthew Gordon placed 10th. Yeah, exactly, man. Certified nominees, I mean, when you come back and you first start back and you put up a hat trick, it's Jamal. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. It's Jamal. Let's go ahead and get into these upcoming games because we're coming close on time, man. Tuesday, tomorrow, men's soccer versus Saul Ross at 4:30. Gotta win it.
Need it.
Gotta win it. Gotta win it. It's a home game, so y'all better be there. Friday, cross country will be at the New Mexico Junior College, the second invitational. Volleyball will be versus John Brown here at home at 7 p.m. on Friday. Y'all have to be there. Come on now.
Gotta turn up.
Let's get it rocking. Let's
Exactly.
get it rocking again.
Exactly. And Saturday, soccer will be away. Both men's and women's will be away at MacU. Volleyball will be here at home versus the Ozarks at 1. And football has their first home game this season. It's only 4 of them. Y'all got to show up to, it's only 4 games. Like, show up to the 4 games, man. You know what I'm saying? It's first home game in football versus Louisiana Christian at 4. This team this year, man, I'm going to tell it to y'all now, is worth showing up for. I know last year, and the year before, and the year before, and every other year, it's been hard to show up. But it ain't hard to show up right now. These boys are exciting to watch. Our offense is powerful. So y'all come out there and check out the game, man. This weekend at 4 o'clock, like I said, at Plainview Stadium, Plainview Bulldogs, big stadium down down the street. That's all we got for y'all this week, man. Hopefully next week we come back with some great news that we went undefeated across the board. I'm just playing. We probably ain't gonna do that. But let's get some wins, man. Let's get some wins.
Let's show out, bro.
Exactly.
Turn up for the home games.
Absolutely.
Go support y'all people.
We'll see y'all same time next week.